am doing good. So if you haven't noticed, I have no makeup on. And I very rarely record without having some makeup on. But today I am, pulling my hair back quick, doing a get ready with me. And I'm doing my foundation routine. So at my age, 48, I am no spring chicken anymore. So I have had to play with a lot of different moisturizers, foundations, and stuff like that to really try to figure out what works best with my skin, and also all the fine wrinkles and the onset of my wonderful aging. Now, I have all my stuff here, and not only am I going to do my foundation, but I am going to do the general routine that I do before my foundation and kind of go through that with you, and so that you can see pretty much exactly what I do in the morning before I get ready. The only thing I'm not doing is my primer because of what I've been using instead. Now, let's get right into it and get started. Now, the first thing I do in the morning is by Nassif MD. These are their detox pads. Now, it comes in a package of 60. And there are a bunch of little pads in there. Now, at night, I do my whole cleansing routine and go through all that. But then in the morning, my face is pretty much clean from the night before. It just has a heavy moisturizer on it, or some type of mask. So what I do in the morning is I use these wonderful detox pads. They exfoliate very lightly, so it makes my skin feel incredible. And I just go over really quickly and use this each morning. And I love the way it makes my skin feel. And it gets off any last grime or like the heavy moisturizer or the mask from the night before. So that is that. I'll let that dry a little bit as we're going. Now, I have the typical problems of many people my age. I do have fine lines, and I've got some bags and stuff right here. So all of this helps extremely. Now, the other thing I've been using before my makeup is the Touch in Sol Pretty Filtered Glassy. This is gorgeous, and this is a wonderful moisturizer. It's not too heavy, and it goes on really nicely underneath your makeup as a primer. And here's the inside of that. It is just such a beautiful... And it's got a very light scent to it. Nothing too major that's going to irritate your skin. Now, obviously, I just use my hands. I love this moisturizer. It's really so good for my skin. Now, the other thing I use sometimes is the Dr. Brandt No More Baggage. I use that under my eyes sometimes. It works really good. But I'm not doing that today. But it is something that I have been using every now and then. Now, the other thing I've started using is the Bella Pierre Pro Concealer Palette. Now, it's a correcting palette, but I use it underneath all my makeup because I've got some red spots. So I dot the green, which is supposed to counteract the red spots. And then I use this yellowish. Now bear with me on this too, because I didn't Well, I've got my regular mirror here, but now I've got some really light skin on over my eyes. So I have the veins and stuff that show through. So I just use this shade right here underneath my eyes and on my eyelids to help conceal and brighten. And obviously I use this little brush, which ends up working really good. So there's that. And you can see very clearly, it's definitely brightens, and I just pat that in all around just to kind of blend it a little bit. But I do have another red spot right here that I like to kind of conceal with the thicker concealer. Now, so there's that. Now next, I have been using the Smashbox Studio 15-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation. And this is the color 2.22. So I use that, and then I use this, got some extra on there. I don't know what brush this is. It's just a foundation brush. I don't know who makes it, but it's really pretty, and I like how it blends. Now, I just blend in with circular motions. I am not super duper duper particular. The only thing is, once I get the majority of the foundation buffed in, I do go back and pat and dab. So this is that. Blend it down into the neck. And you can see how it's got like that kind of shiny, glowy. And then I go back and I dab in. And that helps getting into all of, instead of buffing right over the fine wrinkles, but it also helps get the foundation into any fine lines or wrinkles and fills them in quite a bit and the pores. So just go in and dab all over. Now, this is the unique thing that I do. I go in with another foundation. Now, the reason I do this is because I have oily skin and I do moisturize quite a bit on my skin. So it does balance out the oiliness, but I fell in love with this Becca matte foundation. And pretty much what I do is I just put a dab on each side. And I blend that in. I only use a very little bit, but it helps minimize the shine. And it helps fill in a lot of the fine lines. For whatever reason, this has been working good for me. And I really like how the matte finish absorbs any excess oil without it being too thick. So go back and dab, 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 dab. And that is the two foundations I've been using. Now, the next thing is by Becca again. It is the Hydra Veil. That's hard to see. But this powder is incredible. When you put it on, it feels moist. It almost feels wet. And what I will do is this I just dab into. Now, what I'll do is, if you can see, I've only done half my face with the powder, and it already has got that nice matte finish, and it doesn't get too drying because this is such a really good moisturizing foundation, powder. And I'll do the other half now. But I absolutely love it. I mean, to the point where, like, I have ordered 2 more of these off of Mercari, and I highly recommend Mercari. You can get brand new makeup, brand new, unused, for a quarter of the price that it would cost you to buy brand new. And I think I have, down below, I've got a link for Mercari that'll get you $10. So yeah, so now this is all set. And I just prefer the matte finish. That's just me. Because like I said, again, I have, my skin does tend to get really oily, especially as I go throughout the day. So, this powder tends to help keep the oil absorbed and help it from getting too shiny and glossy throughout the day. Now, the next thing I've got is by Pacifica. And this is a blush and contour, bronzer, whatever you want to call it, that my friend Robin gave me. And it definitely goes on really nice. And then I use this smaller brush with it just because I like being able to really put it exactly where I want it and blend. So I prefer using the smaller brush with these. So there we go. A little bit on my nose. I've got a tiny nose, so I don't go too crazy with my nose. But, and then the blush. Voila. So that's pretty much what I do for my foundation and my blush and stuff like that initially. Now I will take a break and go and do the rest of my stuff. and I will come back in a minute. Poof, I'm done. So the rest of my makeup is on, and I am wearing the NYX Lippy in the color IBLG 23. Cinnamon Roll. So here's that. And the color is Cinnamon Roll. And my eye makeup is my favorite Tarte palette. And I got this from Robin also. And that is it. So let me know what you think. Itchy nose. Ooh, sorry about that. Yes, let me know what you think. So I wanted to do this and obviously share this with you guys because several people have asked, what do I do? And this is pretty much the gist of my routine with my foundation and, oh, my nose is really itching me. And it has worked for me. Now, I don't go too crazy with, anything. I mean, I use basic foundations and they're pretty much affordable foundations. They're all, oh, okay, sorry. Okay, I think I got the itch. Yeah. So I do get a lot of my makeup right off of Mercari, so I don't have to pay full price. I think I paid $13 for my Smashbox foundation and then $10 for the Becca, and they were both brand new. And they have a really good selection of shades and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's obviously, I'm not spending a ton of money. And I get a lot of other stuff in my boxes. I think the Smashbox, I got a little sample of it in one of my boxes. And that was flipping awesome. That's how I you know, found the Smashbox foundation and how much I loved it. So, but that is it. Let me know what you think. I'm trying to change things up a little bit and do some different stuff. So this little short get ready with me, I hopefully you liked it. And let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you use. And if you're my age and if it's working for you, I'd love to hear. All right. That is it. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. And thank you for hanging out with me for a little while with my little get ready with me. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.